Once upon a time, deep in a dark wood, two children lost their way. Hansel and Gretel, brother and sister, abandoned by their parents in a moment of desperate hunger, stumbled upon a gingerbread house, a haven of sweetness in the darkening woods. And there, waiting for them, was an old woman with a heart of gold, or so the story goes. But what if the nightmare began long before the oven, long before the witch? What if the real horror was the desperate calculus of starvation that forced these two children to abandon all sense of morality to cross the Rubicon of human decency and consume the very thing that had brought them comfort in their darkest hours? In the stark silence of the forest, their stomachs growled, a chilling counterpoint to the chirping birds. Days, perhaps weeks, trapped in the clutches of the witch. Her every act of kindness, a calculated delay, a torment of slow starvation. Each kind word a fresh torment, each shared meal a reminder of their diminishing autonomy. Slowly, the children became prisoners, not of their bodies, but of their minds. Their will to live, warping into a singular, all-consuming need. And who could blame them? In the annals of history, there are echoes of this grim calculus. Tales of desperate men and women driven to cannibalism by the icy hand of starvation. Is it too much to imagine then that these two children, pushed beyond the edge of despair, would turn on the very thing that offered them sustenance? The witch? What if the witch wasn't just killed, but consumed, not out of malice or bloodlust, but out of sheer overwhelming necessity? What if the gingerbread house, a monument to both comfort and confinement, became the very vessel of their horrifying transformation? They could have struck her down when they had the chance, but something held them back. Some primal instinct that screamed against such brutality. But as days bled into nights, and the scent of baking bread mingled with the coarsening stench of decay, that restraint began to fray. Her every smile a fresh torment, every pat on the head a reminder of their diminished state. Then came the breaking point. The witch, in her infinite cruelty, or perhaps misguided mercy, doled out punishment, a lashing for Hansel, an even harsher word for Gretel. And in that moment, something snapped. Fueled by a mix of fear and righteous anger, they attacked. It wasn't a battle, not really, it was an execution. Every blow a testament to their desperation, every scream a punctuation mark in their silent screams. When it was over, they looked at each other, their eyes wide with a mixture of triumph and revulsion, bound together by a dark secret that would forever etch this day into their souls. They buried her not out of respect, but out of necessity, concealing the evidence of their crime in the very ground that had borne witness to their ordeal. The gingerbread house, once a symbol of false hope, now stood as a monument to their fallen humanity. Their escape was not a triumphant march, but a sordid stumble. Through the dark wood, every tree a specter of their trauma, every leaf a rustle of accusation. They ran, not toward safety, but away from the suffocating memory of their crime. And what happened then? What became of these two children forever tainted by their deed? Did they confess? Could they ever confess? Or did the dark secret of the cannibalistic witch become their shared burden, a bond of horror that transcended sibling rivalry? As they stumbled out of the woods, the world seemed alien. The faces of the villagers a grotesque mockery of welcome. For Hansel and Gretel, the innocence of childhood was gone, replaced by a chilling understanding of the darkness that lurked within them, within their own hearts. Perhaps the true monster in Hansel and Gretel wasn't just the witch, but the desperation that turned to innocent children into something far more chilling, into cannibals. Now, every fairy tale ends with a cautionary, they lived happily ever after. But what if some stories don't have happy endings? What if some shadows linger just beyond our childhood memories, whispering tales of terror that defy the comforting echoes of once upon a time? Now, your turn. What chilling tales from your childhood would you like to see re-examined through this dark lens? Share your thoughts below.